The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 475, been recorded on February the 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks Out Today. I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast to Best Coast, Mayo. Steve Williams back.
I'm in the West Coast.
Steve Williams back, but he's not in the West Coast. He's in Little Ohio, which is not the West Coast. I'm in the West Coast, which is the best coast. That threw me off. I'm not used to not saying Gunny. That's really weird.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyways,
man.
welcome to the show, Steve. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, welcome back. Gunny is not here, ladies and gentlemen. He is on a break. I don't know what he's doing. What old people do. I think he went and had a bingo night. Is this a thing still?
I thought he had to go walk the mall for a little while first, and then he was heading to the bingo hall.
Yeah, he said he had to get his exercise in at the mall, and then he's gonna go down to the bingo hall and play himself some bingo. Yeah, that's what he wanted to do.
He was on camera earlier on Discord, right? And he had these little thigh-high shorts on with socks up to his knees and white shoes on. Like, where are you going, Gunny? He's like, oh, I'm going to the mall. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gonna show off his legs. Yeah, show off them legs, Gunny. Yeah. But he's not here, people. So, yeah, it's going to be a Jesusand Mayo show tonight. You can follow us on X at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Find us on Spotify or wherever you may find podcasts. You can find us. We are also now uploaded to YouTube, which I thought we were before. We were, but then it stopped. But then I got it back. Last night I was fucking around with all that shit, and I was able to get it back up to YouTube. So if you want to listen via YouTube, you can. There's no video to it, but it's just like a audio thing. Like, you can listen to the shows completely on YouTube, and I think most of them are up there. I think some of them got copyright strikes. I don't know how, but some of them got uploaded just fine. Some of them were copyright strike, but they said the user gave us permission to use their stuff. So I don't know, I think almost like every show said, you guys have a copyright strike, but the user lets you use their stuff, which I don't know if that's our intro music or our outro music. I think it's one of the two that keeps coming up as a copyright, but I think we've also had actual copyright strikes for playing audio from whatever, like Pokemon or whatever, shit that we did in the past. So, yeah. Anyways,
I wonder if it's our arch enemies over there, that other YouTube channel. I happen to see, who was it, Crafty, that posted the other podcast?
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to steal our name over there.
But yeah, you can follow us at Horrible Gamers on Facebook, or Horrible Gamers Podcast Community is our close group on Facebook. We also have a Discord. Join our Discord. That is the best way to get a hold of us. And most of the community, we're all in there. We chat with people in there. We're in there all the time. When I'm gaming, I have Discord up. So honestly, if you want to get a hold of us, that is probably going to be the fastest and easiest way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because Discord messages pop up on my phone. I got it all connected. So I see all that stuff right away. Whereas compared to if you email us or email or whatever, that shit sometimes might take me a bit to check.
What a way to be connected, though. I couldn't imagine when you guys started the podcast without Discord. You would have had to use email and stuff like that. It would have been way more difficult to get a hold of us. And Discord makes it great because it's linked to everything.
It literally is, yeah. So
like you said, messages to our phone and everything. So whether we're at the PC or away from the desk or whatever, we'll probably see it.
Yeah, 99% of the time we'll see it. But yeah, big shout out to the Video Game Happy Hour podcast where me and Gunny were guests on this week. It was on Saturday. We were guest host on there. We were talking about KCD2 and some other stuff. Shout out to Crafty and what's the other guy's name? Sin something City something City Slicker or City is it City Slicker, something like that. Spelled kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think it's spelled kind of weird though. That's why it's throwing me off. But I think it's City Slicker. He's a cool dude. And James, all I know him as is James. But I think he has a
Maybe
like,
James Press Start.
yeah, it's James Press Start. Yeah. He has like a Twitch or something, YouTube, Twitch, both maybe. I don't know. I think Twitch. I think he said Twitch. Probably has a YouTube though too. I don't know. It sounds like a YouTuber name, doesn't it? James Press Start.
Yeah.
It's like a good YouTuber name. Anyways, shout out to all of them. They were really cool people, and then we were on there. Crafty knows his shit, man. I mean, he really is a knowledgeable dude in the podcast, like in video games, and he's really good at podcasting. Actually, I'm surprised how well he does it and how well he's able to carry himself on a show. Like he's really good. I'm honestly impressed how good these guys are. They're like on show number. I think they said it was 15 that they just posted. I know that, but it isn't like their 15th show. I don't think these guys are new at this. They were doing a podcast as part of VGO's app that VGO has. You know, they have an app for whatever their podcast, and they have like extra shit on there. And they were part of one of the extra shows on there, and then they kind of just split off from that. I don't know why. Maybe they wanted to go on their own or something, but they split off from that, and I think they just renamed their show to Video Game Happy Hour, and they're on their 15th episode right now. So yeah, go give them a shout out. Go give them a review on Apple. I think I'm going to give them a review on iTunes. Yeah, and share them with your friends and family. Pretty cool dudes. I really enjoyed being on there. They're actually really awesome, and I can't wait to have Crafty on again, or City Slicker, or even James. These are all awesome dudes. And I think one of their guys was missing though. One other person was missing, they said. I forget who they said was missing. But he joined, I think he joined our Discord today.
I think they kind of changed it up a little bit. Some weeks they have 3, some weeks they have 4. Just, it's kind of how they get together.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But yeah, so Wanda was the one that was missing. Was it Wanda? Or is Wanda James? No, James is James. Wanda. What is this? Who the fuck is Wanda? Yeah, Wanda. The person that was missing. So yeah, that's who was missing from their show. Because James was there, City was there, so was Crafty. And yeah, that show was dope though. It was funny. I actually went for a couple hours, I think, something like that. I mean, honestly, when I'm podcasting, I don't pay attention to the time, Mayo. You know this.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I forget what time it is. Yeah.
Really long episode where I'm like getting sore in the chair. I'm like, okay, I need to move and stretch.
Stretch around. But yeah, they actually stream live their shows. So if you actually want to watch them do their podcast live, you can. I think it's on Twitch. So go find them there. Anyways, big shout out to Video Game Happy Hour. Go check out that podcast. Pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. Also, shout out to Phantom Egg for the intro music to our podcast and Broke for Free for the outro music to our podcast. And let's get to talking about stuff. Mayo, I was going to say Gunny again.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm so used to just saying Gunny all the time. You're always gone, Mayo. You throw me off this week. Anyways. Yeah, we're here. We're talking about games. Pretty much, real quick, I want to say last night I ended up playing some Call of Duty because they had like a Terminator event going on. So
I see you hop on for a minute. I was gonna jump in, but
you see they had they had the Squid Game one a couple weeks ago. Then they didn't have anything for like a week or two. Season 1 ended, and then season 2 started. And now they have like a Terminator event going on, where if you kill people, whichever mode, it doesn't matter what mode you're playing on, you kill enemies or whatever. Sometimes a little skull will drop, and you pick it up as you run over it. You pick it up, and then the more you pick up, you save them for the end of the match, and then you get to the menu or whatever, and there's the event tab. You click on that, and then you can unlock different shit with how many skulls you collect. They're like little Terminator, little metal skulls or whatever, like the robot one. I think so. There's different things you can unlock. You can unlock calling cards, emblems, spray paint. But the things that I want, one of them is a kill streak. It's like a grenade launcher kill streak. And then the other one is so that's the War Machine. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's been in other Call of Duties before. I don't know why they're doing it this way to put it in this one. And then there's an attachment that I want to unlock, which is like a some kind of attachment for a gun that you have to, but you have to get like a lot of fucking skulls to unlock these things. I think the kill streak is like 100 skulls, and the attachment is 50. So if I want those two things, I gotta get 150 skulls.
Now, would that be like a permanent kill streak for your?
Yeah, you unlock it forever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, would that be something that somebody will be able, say they don't obtain it, right? Like, say somebody's been gone this time here, and then they come back to the game. Is that something they're just going to miss out on that kill streak?
I honestly wonder that, because I was like, what if I don't play this game? What if I just keep playing Kingdom Come for the rest of the week and don't play Call of Duty? Am I gonna miss out on that kill streak? I don't know how that works, Mayo. I'm not 100% sure, dude. I was wondering that though too myself, because I was like, I really want to play Kingdom Come, but I really want this fucking stupid kill streak. It's like, do I really have to play this to get this? I wonder if I could just like if later on they'll just update it and patch it in. You know, like if this is just like if this is just like, oh, a temporary, like, oh, you'll have it for like a month and then everyone gets it a month later or 2 months later or whatever. I don't know how that's gonna work, honestly, because it doesn't seem fair, right? Like, all these people have this kill streak, but what about new players that come in and they don't have it? You know what I mean?
Right, it's something they wouldn't be able to obtain or something.
Yeah, it would seem kind of like an unfair, like, it's like pay to win kind of, but not, you didn't pay for it. You just were part of this event. Yeah, it's play to win.
You must give us your life. Yeah. No, we don't want you. We don't want your cash anymore. We want your life. You got to just continue to play nonstop
Call of
for the rest of your life.
Never stop playing Call of Duty, because you won't get the shit that you want.
Yep, you'll fall behind. Yep, I can see it now.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? They released new maps with this mode, with this season. I mean, and I've only played on one of the new maps, which is the dealership. And there's a yacht map, like a boat. Like the old, like I think that was in Black Ops 2, maybe. There was a yacht map on that as well. But there's a new yacht map on this one. And I haven't even played on that map. I don't even think it exists, to be honest. I think people are lying to me, because it hasn't come up once. It hasn't even come up. You know how people vote on what map is next? It hasn't even come up on the list for like voting. Like I've never even seen it once. I'm like, this is not a real map. This is fake. I don't know. It's kind of the same thing happened when Newtown first came out. It wouldn't pop up on my playlist for like my regular like hardcore shit. I had to go to like specifically Newtown 24/7 to play it. And on this one, they have like something called like Mosh Pit, and it's like only like the 2 new maps or whatever with different modes. But I don't want to play core. I want to play hardcore. So I guess I'm gonna have to just wait till they start putting it in the rotation. But yeah, so there's that. Anyways, that's Call of Duty. That's enough Call of Duty talk for this week. Enough, Mayo. I played other things. Okay. Right. I went back and played some more Helldivers 2 this week. The Democracy Space Station is back up and running. A bunch of shit's going on. The robots are still there. The little weird the bugs are still there, and the other ones are still there. The Illuminates or whatever, they're still there. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, apparently we defeated the robots. We defeated their jetpack people. So like we destroyed the place or whatever that they were building, the jetpack robots. And they were trying, last time I played it, they were trying to take it back, but I think we held them off. I don't know for sure 100%, but I think we're not going to see the jetpack guys come back for a little bit. Maybe later on they'll be back. And we'll see what happens. I know in the beginning, when last year, sometime during last year, like we completely defeated all the robots, like everything they held. We just pushed them all the way back to the edge of the map, and they were done. And for a while, it was like, the robots are defeated. You guys beat them. Like, good job. And then it was like, oh no, that was just like the fake. That was like the first attack of the robots. They're coming back with the vengeance, and then they took over everything right away.
Right. Those are the GoBots. They're coming back to the Transformers now. They're coming back for you.
Yeah, the game master, the guy who runs, I think his name is James or something, the game master over at their studio, he just adjusted it to where like, oh no, they're back with more fucking numbers and blah, 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 and new weapons. And that's how they had all these new weapons and shit, like all these new robots and new enemy types. But hopefully we're able to defeat them again and push them all the way back to the edge of the map, because now we're fighting a battle on 3 fronts. You know, you're fighting the Illuminate, you're fighting the bugs, and you're fighting the robots. It's like a lot of shit going on. I think they just announced another battle pass or whatever, like a thing. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I think they just announced it. So there's that. There's also like a new version of the game as well. I forget what it's called. Maybe it's not the Super Citizen Edition because that's the one that was before. There's like a new one. I forget what it's called, but like it's a new like a new edition of the game, which includes like maybe more stuff than the old gold edition included. I don't know, 100% sure. But yeah, there's that. Anyways, some more Helldivers too. I fucking like that game a lot. I like because I could just jump in, do a few missions, and jump out. You know what I mean? Like every time I come in, there's like new shit. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, and then I'm like, all right, I'm done, I'm out, and then I jump out, and then I come back a week later and more new shit. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, and then I jump out again. But yeah, cool game.
Yeah, I re-added it to my Steam library because my son has it, and so we game share.
Yeah.
So I re-downloaded it. Maybe I'll fire it back up. I thought about it. Maybe play it this week.
Yeah.
And it was the Super Citizen Edition, is what it was.
Yeah. Anyways, besides all that though, the most thing I've been playing this week is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's really all I've been playing, man. Like, if you want to talk KCD 2, I'm down.
Oh, well, I do in a sense. I have not played it because I don't own it yet. But I thought about 5 times about buying it today. I'm like, should I get this game? And I pulled it up on Steam and I watched a little bit of it and I'm like, yeah, I should get it. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have time right now. And then I would watch it again a little bit later and I'm like, I should get this game. Then I'm like, oh, I don't have time to finish this big long game right now. So like I think the length of the game is scaring me away a little bit, knowing I might not finish it. But it looks good. I watched a couple YouTubers playing the beginning of the game and stuff, and I watched him. Gunny, he was streaming it last night while he was playing before you guys did that episode.
Yeah.
And so I was able to see some of it, and it looks good. The game looks great, like graphic wise and all that stuff. So I'm just on the fence. I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like it's a good game to have in my library just to have it. That's why I keep thinking about picking it up, knowing I probably won't finish it right away.
It's a good game, man. I'm having a blast with it. Yeah. I've been playing it a lot, and I'm having a good time. I think I'm at a point right now on the main story, where I'm like about to advance the story, maybe to like the first part of the main story. So like the first main part, so you start off the game, you're with Hans, shit goes down, whatever. You end up by yourself, and Hans kind of takes off. But the whole reason you were with Hans was you're trying to meet this lord in this kingdom to give him like a letter that Hans's father was having you guys deliver. And so you're trying to get there, and then shit goes down. They don't believe you're who you are because you look like hobos. And then so now your goal is to get to this wedding and talk to the king, but you don't have the letter anymore. So I wonder what happens. But so I think I got to the point now where I can get to the wedding because I talked to the blacksmith and he's like, "Are you ready to go?" Because I did like all these quests for him and to help him out so he can give me an invite to the wedding. And now he's like, "All right, are you ready to go now?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm ready quite yet." So that was my last save point right before the show. So I'm at the save point now where like I think I'm gonna just go find some like nice clothes to put on Henry before he goes to the wedding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And get him dappered up so he has a little bit more prestige when he shows up at the wedding. And we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. I'm sure the story doesn't really change if I do that, but maybe I'll have different options to do things because people do react in the game to how you're dressed. They react to everything, dude. Like how you're dressed, how you smell. If you have blood on your clothes, like you know what I mean? Like they literally react to everything that's going on in the game. It's really bizarre. You know?
Yeah,
what
I've seen a couple of things where like you had to go talk to somebody and they were like they wouldn't talk to you and you had to like go to this little wash bin and clean up. Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, okay, now Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but they're doing. But yeah, it looks really cool.
Happens. It's a very sim-like game. It's very much like Red Dead. Like when I was talking to Crafty and them on the show, I kind of asked Crafty because Crafty's on the fence about it. Right? Like he bought the game, but he's kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And I kind of asked him, like, did you play Red Dead? And he's like, no. And I'm like, how the fuck did you not play Red Dead, Crafty? Come on, dude. But after giving him shit about that, I told him, I told people, like, if you like Red Dead and how, like, immersive Red Dead can be in terms of, like, how realistic the world seems, you know what I mean? Like, you do all this crazy shit, people react and all this stuff. If you like that about that game, you'll like this game. Because this game is very much like that, Mayo, where, like, there's a lot of simmy stuff to it, but it's not overbearing. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you do have to eat, but it doesn't really like the eating stuff doesn't really like factor in that much. You can eat, but like you can also poison yourself. Like there was one time where I had all this rotten food in my inventory and I didn't know, and my guy was super hungry. Like he was like starving because I kept like fast forwarding time, so I was breaking into people's houses. So I was fast forwarding time to like, break into their house again.
Like at night, was you like advancing?
Yeah. I was with advancing time. So either my guy was really tired, so I had to make him go to bed and sleep. Because your character gets tired after a while. Like if you don't sleep, he'll start getting like a sleep meter starts going, and eventually he gets to the point where he's like drowsy and like he's like like in the game. It's funny because like you'll be walking and he'll kind of like bob his head. And then he'll like close his eyes and the screen goes black as he's closing his eyes. He's like closing his eyes and like falling over, like slurring his words. Like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's like walking like wobbly and shit. So like there's a sleep meter and there's the food meter too, where like you're hungry and your stomach starts growling like, ugh. Like he's like, oh, I'm fucking starving. I'm so hungry. So like you feed him, right? And then you make him sleep and whatever. But one thing that happened was I kept fast forwarding time. I was breaking into these houses and fast forwarding time to like sell the stuff in town. Because like when you break in a house and you steal something, Mayo, this is a tip. When you break in a house and you steal something and you have that stolen item, the item is stolen and people will recognize that it's stolen. Like if you walk around with it or you try to wear it or something, people will go like, hey, you stole that thing from me, But if you wait a couple days, like sometimes it's like 2 days, I think, minimum. Some stuff takes longer, but like 2 days is the minimum for most of the stuff. And unless it's something like a lord's, like something that belongs to like a lord or something, like people will notice that longer.
Like a higher up.
Yeah, like people will be like, hey, that doesn't belong to you. That belongs to Lord so-and-so. Like, the fuck do you have that, Unless that happens. But if it's something like you broke into this guy's house and you stole his sword, and you wait a couple of days, usually you are able to equip it or sell it, you know what I mean? And that's how it works out. Like you're able to sell it and walk around with it and not get caught. Like even if you get caught by the guards and questioned and searched, they won't recognize it as a stolen item. They'll just think you're carrying a sword or whatever. So that's why I was fast forwarding the time, and my character became really hungry. And I woke up and it's like, oh, I'm so fucking hungry. Like I said, you're so hungry, you're gonna die. Like there's like a red skull like on the thing that's like you're so hungry you're starting to die. Like you will die like if you don't eat. And I was like, oh fuck. So I just went to my inventory really fast and I click on all the food. I just clicked on everything, right? I just fucking went down the list and clicked on all the food and ate it all. But so now Henry was full, right? But it said, oh, you fucked up. You ate food that was spoiled, so now you poisoned yourself. And now you need to find a doctor because you fucking poisoned yourself and you're going to die from that. And I was like, oh, you fuck. Oh, this is some bullshit. I was so mad. I was walking around half dead.
You got to do what you got to do, right? I mean.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, dude? So, yeah, I had to legit go to like this guy and get like a potion that would heal me to like fix myself. I went to like the alchemy shop. And I was looking at their shit and like they'll have potions for everything. They'll have potions for like this will help you regain stamina faster. This will help you like run. Like if you're running, it'll deplete your stamina slower. If you're in a fight, you'll bleed out a little bit slower if you drink this during the fight. Or you'll like recover stamina faster in a fight. Like if you're in a battle,
do you have to like take it during the fight, or is it something you take before and then it just lasts a certain amount of time?
Yes, it's both. So like a lot of them will have like a timer. Yeah, a lot of them are like on a timer base. Like kind of like anything like The Witcher, right? Where you have like a timer, right? Like you drink it and it's like a 5 minute thing or whatever, 10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes. Someone will be like, oh, for the next 10 minutes, you regain stamina 20% faster, 5% faster. Or for the next 10 minutes, you can carry more stuff or whatever because this kind of gives you like a boost of energy or whatever. Um, so yeah, I had to go find a potion that said, this cures like any fucking sickness you have or whatever. So I had to go find one of those to cure my fucking dying ass Henry because he was dying from food poisoning. But yeah, man, I fucking love the game. I love the world. I'm walking around in it. I'm chilling. I'm going through the forest. I'm fighting the bandits. I'm getting into fights. I fought this dude who was called like something the Great, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I was just riding my horse through the forest, and he's like standing there by a tree. And usually there's signs of that's like a sign of trouble, right? Like if you're walking through the forest or you're riding your horse through the forest in this game and you see someone standing by a tree or by the road and they're just standing there like looking at you, you either make sure you either go by them really quick on your horse to try to outrun them, or you can like try to stop, but they're usually going to try to rob you or fight you or kill you. Like it's just going to happen. And this guy, I was just riding my horse by him, and all of a sudden him and his buddy jumped out of a tree and they started chasing me, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys chasing me? Like, they had no swords, Mayo. This guy was like half naked, like no shirt on, running down the forest chasing me, and his buddy was dressed like a clown, like a jester. And I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
You have a naked guy and a clown chasing you.
Yeah, so I pull out my sword, right? And I try to hit him with my sword as I'm riding my horse. I'm trying to swing my sword at them, but like I can't really hit them. I'm having a hard time. And then my horse fucking stops. So one of them runs up to me and pulls me off of the horse. And I'm like, God damn it. He threw me on the ground. So I'm trying to like get my dog to bite one of them. And my dog is biting one of them. And like the half naked guy comes up to me and I pull out my sword and shield. And he's like fighting me with this fist. He has no weapon, Mayo. And he's like punching me and he's doing legit damage to me. Like he's legit like damaging me pretty good. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like swinging my sword at this guy and he's blocking it with his hands. I'm like, how the fuck? And finally, when I killed him, it took me like a little bit, but I did kill him and his friend. When I killed him and I turned around to fight his buddy was like, oh, I surrender. I still killed him. When I looted his body, it said that this guy is like Jake's friend. And I was like, Jake's friend? And then I go over to the naked guy, and he's like, oh, this is Jake the Great. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Jake the Great? Who the fuck is Jake the Great? And like, all he had on him was like some gold, a piece of bread, and like some like wrist wraps. I said he had like these wrist wraps. So he must have been like a fighter, right? Like a Jake the Great, like a good fighter or something. But this guy like came out. I didn't want to start a fight with them. I was just riding my horse through the forest, just trying to do my thing. Like, you know, I was starting no shit with no one.
Minding your own business.
Then he started chasing me down. I'm like, ah, fuck you, dude. I'm going to come back and fuck you up. And then they threw me off of my horse and started fucking me up. And I had to kill them, both of them. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm having a blast with the game.
I still have a lot of like many questions. Like, what happens when you die? Does the game like reload? You just like wake back up and you're missing items, or like what happens if you would lose to that guy?
You have to reload. It'll say like you've died, reload last checkpoint or last save, and then you'll just reload your last save, which usually is pretty generous. If you just started like a quest, it'll be at that quest, the beginning of that quest.
Auto save for you? Or?
A lot of the times, yes. So like if you say you're on a quest and you run into a bandit camp, a lot of the times the game will auto save right there, right as soon as you find the bandit camp. It'll be like, oh, you found the bandit camp, and it'll be like autosave. So if you died at that bandit camp, which I did like 20 times one time, it'll just reload right where it says you found the bandit camp, like right there in the beginning. So you just have to go through it and figure out how to beat it. Yeah. So a lot of times it's generous like that. But if like sometimes like say you're like going through the forest and Jake the Great decides to fuck you up and you don't have the right stuff to fight him, you might die, and then you might lose
back
like
in town, maybe.
Yeah, you'll lose like 10, 20 minutes of traveling or something like. Yeah, you will lose all that progress from wherever the fuck was the last checkpoint. And your last checkpoint could have been 20 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. So that's kind of shitty about that. But yeah, that's how that save system or the when you die, how it works.
Is there like XP just for killing people or fighting things, or are you finding gear to get better?
Both. So the gear obviously makes you better. The what you're wearing, your armor, your weapons.
Is it a lot?
React.
Are you finding a lot of gear, or
Yeah, no, there's a lot of gear. Cause like for example, like to wear like armor, right? So you have to have like your pants on, like regular pants. Then you have to put on like a jacket. It's called like a gambison or a gambison. I don't know how do you pronounce it. Uh, but it's like a big thick coat underneath. Then you can put on your chainmail above that. Then you can put on your actual armor, like what you see like when you think of a knight, like the armor they wear on their chest. And then you can put that on. Then you can equip the arm pieces, like the arm armor on your arms. Then you have your hand armor you have for your hands. Then you have leg armor you put on top of your pants. Then you have your shoes, whatever boots or shoes you're wearing. And you can even have spurs on your boots that'll like affect your horse or whatever. You know, like how you ride your horse or whatever. So there's all this like gear that you can equip on your character. Like on your head, if you're wearing like it's called a coif or a coif or some shit like that. You put it on your head as like a little hat. Sometimes it goes down to your neck and it covers your neck as well and your shoulders. If you put that on, then you can equip a helmet. But if you don't have that on, you cannot equip a helmet because that's kind of like the padding between you and the helmet. So if you get hit in the head, like the helmet doesn't knock you out. You know what I mean? Like it's like a little bit of padding. And that could be like a cloth one or a chainmail one. Depending on what it is, you have like better stats, better defense against stabbing or whatever. If you have a chainmail one on, or if you have like a cloth one, it might be okay, like some defense against stabbing, but not 100%. You know, so like the gear is very deep. There's a lot of gear, and depending on what you're wearing, people react to it. So it's like people will react if you're wearing stuff like a knight. People will be like, "Oh, are you like a soldier? Or are you a knight? What are you? You know, like." Why are you dressed like a knight? Like, why are you walking around with a sword and a shield and shit? Like, who the fuck are you? Or if you're dressed like a hobo, people act like you're a hobo. People are like, you fucking hobo, get out of here. Like, you know? Or if you're dressed like a noble with like rich people clothes on, people treat you like a noble, like a rich person, you know? Like, oh, this guy's fucking on top of his shit. Like, he knows this guy must be royalty or something, you know? So all that stuff matters. Now, as far as the XP goes, it's a lot like Skyrim, or I want to say Fallout, or whatever, like Starfield. The more you do something, the more XP you gain in that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the more you ride your horse, the better you become at horsemanship. The more you use your dog and interact with the dog, you become better at like it's called the houndsman or something like that. Where you like are able to like command your dog better and teach it new stuff. Or like the better you like, the more books you pick up and open and read, the better your speech becomes. The more knowledgeable your character becomes. Like the more like just the more intelligent. Like more like he's able to speak better and be more eloquent on the way he speaks or whatever. When you fight, the more you fight with a certain type of weapon, like a long sword or a heavy weapon like a sword and shield or a one-handed sword or a crossbow, the more you use that item, the better you become at using those types of weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can kind of roll however you want. Like
yeah,
when you
really,
keep
you
leveling
can.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
gotcha.
Like
Yeah, I saw
none
too.
of it
Like
is
when
locked. Everything is open to you. So you can, if you want to, like, say you start off as a soldier because that's what you thought was going to be cool, but you
that's what I was
think
gonna ask
I
about.
want
I
to be a
saw something about
stealthy.
like a smart person or something like that, or like a book oriented person, like you were smart and you could like through dialogue get out of conversations or
Yeah,
something like that was another option. Which one did you
yeah.
choose?
I chose the what was it?
There was the stealth and then the soldier, then like the smart, like be able to talk your way out of
I think I
things.
chose the smart one.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what I was thinking about doing. That seemed like it
I
would be more
chose that one
interesting.
because I felt like it gave me the most like perks off the beginning. Because I was thinking I'm gonna have to talk my way out of a lot of shit at the beginning. I think you know what I mean.
Right.
Now that I have weapons and shit, I really don't care about that. Like, because once you have weapons and stuff, you can even like when the option comes up sometimes during dialogue where someone tells you something and like you don't like what they're telling you, you can intimidate them. You can like there's three different options. There's intimidation, there's like a little like a heart and like a crown, and that's like being charismatic with them. Like you're very charismatic, so like they like you, and they'll like believe what you're telling them or whatever. Or there's like the other option is like try to like outwit them, like be smarter than them or whatever. Um, and like depending on sometimes like it'll have like the different numbers. It'll have like a different number for each one, like 12, 10, 5. And depending on which one you pick, obviously like it might work and it might not sometimes. Like sometimes it'll say fail, or sometimes it'll be like, no, pass. Like this guy believed you when you said this. Uh and it all depends on so a lot of it depends on what you're wearing. It'll go up and down based on what you're wearing. Like I have a perk on me where if I have my dog with me, he raises my charisma points by 3. So like so like if I have him with me and people are talking to me and they see him, my charisma automatically goes up by 3 points because he's there. But it also depends on what you're wearing. Like I said, and people don't believe you. Like if you're wearing like a bunch of like shit where you look like a normal person and you try to intimidate someone, then a lot of times sometimes like if they're a soldier, they won't fall for it. They'll be like, fuck you. Like, what are you gonna do to me? You know what I mean? But if you're wearing like badass armor and like cool shit, like you look like you're ready to fight and you're covered in blood and your sword is covered in blood and you try to intimidate them, they'll be like, oh fuck, I don't want to fight you. Like, no, dude, like I don't want to fight. All right, I'll tell you what you want to know. You know, like a lot of that stuff, that's how that plays out. But yeah, that's the role I went with at first, Mayo. But I think with anyone that you pick, you'll be fine because, like I said, the game doesn't lock you into that specific thing. You may think, oh, I'm locking myself into like a class like Skyrim or something. Like I'm locking myself into a race. No, you're not. You're just a person, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like you can, once you're open in the world, you can choose to do whatever you want and be whoever you want. You know what I mean? Like you could be the stealthy, sneaky guy that shoots people from far away with the bow. You could be the guy that goes in there and fucks people up with a sword. Or you could be the guy that just talks your way through the game, that's able to like talk to everyone and just get whatever the hell he wants out of people because you're very good at fooling people and talking them, tricking them into believing everything you say. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to see like a YouTube thing where someone does that. Where they're like, "Oh, I played the game without ever fighting anyone. Like I just played the whole game talking to people,
talked their way through it."
Yeah. Or like I played the whole game fighting everyone, or I played the whole game stealth. You know, like I can't wait to see those. To see people can actually pull it all the way. Because there is some missions that I played, like some side quests, where like I feel like combat is inevitable. Like you have to fight these bandits or you have to fight these people. But sometimes I feel like I wonder if you could just talk your way through all this shit. You know, like if you just talk to these people, are they gonna just surrender? You know, are they gonna just give up? Or like, can you just trick them into like not fighting you? You know what I mean, or whatever. Like, I wonder if that's really how this game is, because I haven't really tried it. Because when if I try something and it fails, I just end up fighting people. But I always thought about like, what if you could just really talk your way through everything? Like, just if you're really, really like, you really level up your guy like really high on like talking or like intelligence. Can you just like fucking trick everybody into like doing whatever the fuck you want them to do for you? You know?
Right.
I wonder. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe you can, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I feel like some of the stuff you do have to fight. You do have to like do things. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how that works, man.
So I had a little thought, right? Like I was thinking about, like, okay, I'll probably pick this up, and I'm also debating about, okay, do I pick up this or do I pick up? I thought about, what was the game? No, I lost my mind. I lost my thought on it. Monster Hunter. I thought about Monster Hunter, and then I thought about picking up Indiana Jones. I'm like, I kind of want to play one of those, but I'm like, what one do I play? Like, I'm trying to decide which one I want to pick up, and like Indiana Jones, I just buy. I don't have Game Pass, so I'm trying to decide whether I just want to buy that and play it, or if I want to wait and play Monster Hunter. I never played a Monster Hunter game, so I don't know if it would be my thing or not. That's my only thing there. But while I was sitting there, while we were talking about it, I pulled up the Xbox app because I wanted to see. I bought Metaphor ReFantasio on my Xbox, and I can play on both my PC and my Xbox. I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if I could play in the living room or on the PC. And when you go to the Microsoft store, they don't really list it on my PC. Like I'm going through and I'm not seeing it, but I am seeing an ad for Avowed, which comes out in 2 days, which it might be bad timing on them. Like is this game going to be like dead in the water because of Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Yeah. I don't know. I think people will still play a lot of Avowed when it comes out. I know people are hyped for it. I know Brink is like hyped for it. I don't think the game is going to do good. Something about it is just, I have a bad feeling.
I haven't heard much about it. They were talking about it for a while early on. Then I feel like the game got kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And
So I'm really, really worried about what's going on. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Avowed. But yeah, as far as what game you should be picking, I don't know, man. Like it depends.
Or should I just buy this and then do like a month of Game Pass, and then I could play Avowed and see if I like it, and pay the $10 whatever PC Game Pass and do a month trial basically, and see if I want to play one of those further. I'll probably end up doing that.
There you go. That sounds not too bad.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't see it. I thought about, like I said, about maybe I'd pick up Kingdom Come on the Xbox, and if I could play it on both Xbox and PC, I could switch up where I'm playing it. I am not seeing it on. I know I'm sure it's on the Xbox, but when I go to the Xbox app, when I go to store, it's not coming up, which is weird, right?
Yeah. The whatchamacallit, I'm gonna play that game Monster Hunter when it comes out. Mm-hmm. So I'm hyped for that, but yeah. That comes out soon, next month.
Yeah, it's in this month, like the 19th. So like 9 days. And so I downloaded on Steam today. There is a benchmark you can download them and check out. Nice. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see how this game will run and see what kind of options there are. And there's three pages of graphics options, which was great. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, And so I recently moved this OLED, the spare OLED I had, into my bedroom as a third monitor. So I'm going to run it on that. So I ran the game at 4K with HDR, with DLSS on, and frame generation, and I was getting like 100 some frames. So not too bad. I don't know what it would be like if I turned like DLSS and that off, but I just wanted to see how it would do too. And I've been kind of messing around with that lately, like seeing how games would run. I relaunched Cyberpunk the other day and turned on the path tracing, which has like the ray tracing to ray tracing where everything reflects off of stuff as well. And I wanted to see how it did, and it did really well. So on my OLED, because I'm like, oh, I bet this game would look really cool sitting back with the controller and playing on the OLED, in my room on the PC with unlimited frames. So I've been kind of dabbling around in that a little bit.
Yeah. How does it perform with the frame generation shit?
I was getting right around 100 frames as well on Cyberpunk. So nice. with the AI frame generation they had, which is only like level 1 or on mine or something like my card because of 40 series. I wasn't able to like crank it up like you can like these newer 50 series cards. I think they have like a 2.0 or no, it's DLSS 4.0, right? Mm-hmm. And so you don't get all the options like they would, I don't think. But yeah, the game ran great. And so I cranked it all the way up, turned on the 4K HDR, and I was still getting 100 frames. So I kind of messed around with that game a little bit. I just had a hard time keeping myself in it because I kind of started back over, and I know what's going on, So it's just like, oh, I don't want to do all this stuff again with the whole like with that little spider bot thing, and you got to spy on the room, and you got to break out, like doing all that stuff over again.
Yeah.
But the game looks really cool. I just kind of want to be able to run in that game and just mess around and just have fun in the city, kind of thing. But maybe I'll pick up the Kingdom Come Deliverance in because, like I said, it looks like it had a lot of comedy in it too. The little bit I've seen in the beginning, like different things that happen and stuff too. So it looks like I like it. I'm almost another thing I've been playing real quick, Jesus, is Metaphor. I'm almost finished with Metaphor still. I'm in the very last boss. And when we were talking about getting together tonight, I was making an attempt at him, and he pretty much kicked my ass. But I had a better idea going into it, something I should use different. And then I just went to go restart, and then it's time to get on. So I'm going to give that another shot after the podcast. But that game will be finished up here probably by the end of the week. So then I'll be able to pick up Kingdom Come.
Nice. Yeah, I like it, man. I can't wait to see when you play Kingdom Come what you think of it and how you like it. Like I said, I'm excited to see where the story's going to go right now when I go back in and go to the wedding and see what happened with Hans and the fuck he's been up to. Because because I've talked to people in the villages that I've been to, and I've asked about Hans. Like, have you seen my friend Hans? And they're like, you mean that fucking guy that came here and was drunk as shit and was talking shit? I'm like, yeah, maybe that's him. I'm like, yeah, that little fucker, he left and blah blah blah. He did all this crazy shit and left. I was like, okay, it sounds like him. Where the fuck is he? I don't know where he's at. So I don't know. Like, I can't. I guarantee he's gonna be at that fucking wedding. So yeah,
Right.
we'll see how he ended up there and how I end up there, and what's gonna happen when he sees me, because he was pissed off at me last time because I cussed him out or whatever, and he got mad and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." I'm like, "All right, fuck you then, fuck out of here. I don't want to be part of your fucking shit no more." Because you start off the game where you are like his bodyguard. That's who you are. You're like his main bodyguard.
Oh, okay. Is that the guy with you at the beginning of the game?
Yeah,
I don't know the names. Okay, I've
his
seen
name
the
is
two people together.
Yeah, his name is Lord Hans Capon or whatever, and he's the son of the lord of his village, like his town or whatever. His village, like his dad is like the lord there or whatever, like the main guy, and he's the son of that dude. He's the heir to that throne or whatever. Like he's gonna be the lord when his dad dies. So his dad sent him on this mission to deliver this fucking letter, like a peace, like I think it's like a peace treaty letter, like asking to make peace with this other kingdom, because everyone's at war in this time, because it's like at the same, like it takes off literally right after the last game, where like in the last game what happened was the king of Bohemia or whatever like decided to attack, like the brother of the king decided that he wanted to be king, so he decided to call himself the king and raised an army and attacked his brother, the king, the actual king, and fucking like beat his ass and arrested him and like took him prisoner. But some of the kingdoms like said, okay, yeah, we'll bow down to you and join you. But some of the other kingdoms were like, no, fuck you. We're gonna be loyal to the actual, like, the guy who was the king. Like we're loyal to him and we're gonna fight you. So like the whole kingdom is at war. Like everyone's at fucking war. Like, you know what I mean? Like all these kingdoms are at war with each other because some of them allied with King Sigismund, and the other one's allied with the other king, the one that's in prison or whatever. So you as Henry, you're with Hans, and Hans people, they're allied with the king that's in prison. And you're going to this other kingdom where these people are allies with the king who is like the king's brother or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the bad guys or whatever, like they're allied with him. And so you're trying to deliver this peace treaty letter to them, and shit goes down. You lose the letter, whatever shit happens, and you lose Hans. So now you lost Hans, you lost the letter, and you're like, where the fuck is Hans? I'm his bodyguard, but he got mad at me and left. I don't know where the fuck he's at. So I want to know what's going to happen with all that. So much, like, I want to know, Mayo. I want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm pretty, like, I've done so many side quests, and I'm still, like, I want to say in the beginning of the game, like, it's like Skyrim, where like every fucking person you talk to gives you a quest. Everyone, Mayo, everyone has some fucking shit for you to do. Go find this person for me. Go find my daughter. Go find my friend. Go find fucking this, or go get this for me. Everyone has a fucking quest for you. Everybody. And it's kind of like overwhelming, but then I think back to Skyrim and how memorable that game was to me. And honestly, some of the side quests are what I remember more than the actual main quests. So it's like,
right.
That's why I'm like, I'm not trying to skip all these side quests. I'm like, I want to see what some of these things lead me to, because sometimes side quests are better done than main quests. You know what I mean? Like, they're just better thought out or whatever, because then you have a conclusion to whatever happened. You know what I mean? Whereas sometimes the main quest is like, well, where the fuck did that lead to? Like, I don't remember what the fuck happened there. Like, it was like whatever. Like, this is what I did all this shit for. Where sometimes the side quest is like, oh, I did all this because of this. Like, holy shit. And yeah, but there's a reputation system in the game as well. Like, your reputation will go up and down in each town and around the country, or the map, which is like the country or whatever. Where like your reputation goes up and down based on the deeds you do with the people. Like if you make a good deal with people, your reputation goes up. If you make a bad deal, reputation goes down. If you break into a house, reputation goes down. If you get arrested, your reputation goes down. if you kill someone that's innocent and like someone witnesses it and they go and tell a guard, then you're wanted for murder and your reputation goes down. Like all that shit happens. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I was just looking, curious on the how long to beat, and this is very early because not very many people reported in yet, right? But it says here the main story is only like 25 hours, where the other one was like, let me back up, I think 40.
Yeah.
So that's a lot shorter. Yeah, the main one of the first one was 42, the main story. And this one's 25, but this is main plus extra is 99 and a half hours. So there's a lot of side quests the way it sounds.
Yeah.
So you're probably doing it the right way. If the main story is only 25 hours, which is kind of short,
Yeah, that is
enjoy
really
that.
short.
And again, this is a very small pool of people right now. There's like 7 people that replied so far in Time to Beat. So
yeah, it's weird because all the reviews say like the main story is longer, like 40. It took some people. It's like the reviewers were saying like, oh, it took me 100 hours to finish this game, 120 hours or whatever. It's like, well, which is it? Like 25 hours or 100 hours? I don't know. I'm
right, that's a big
assuming.
difference.
I'm assuming like most people.
Yeah, see, if I just Google
like,
it, if I just Google it in general, it says 50 to 60.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like usually the Time to Beat's pretty good, like accurate, but
So I'm looking at Games Radar. They're saying that they will be around 40 hours to beat at least.
yeah. So that person that voted in the how long to beat kind of thing must have been wrong.
They must have been way on. This guy's
Like
saying
they must have not played it or something.
this guy's saying
speedrunner. He's a speedrunner.
main story and critical. Yeah, he's skipping all the dialogue. Just skip all the cutscenes, skip everything. This guy saying the main story and critical path is 40 to 50 hours standard playthrough, which is the main story and some side content, 50 to 70 hours, and 100% completion, which a full playthrough would be around 90 to 110 hours, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I am pretty much sold with Jesus. I think I'm gonna pick it up tonight. Start it tonight after the show. Anything else you've been playing over there?
No, just this, dude. Honestly, that's just fucking Kingdom Come. That's it. Like,
yeah, see, that's a good sign though for me, right? That's
it is. It's just
all
that
tell your attention, right?
It really has, and I don't know. Like, I'm really into it, dude. I'm in it, man. I'm in it. I want to do.
Are you playing with a controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
Because I've seen the combat and it looks kind of like it's controller friendly. Like
it is very controller friendly. Yeah,
like it would be hard with a mouse. I wonder.
James
would it be?
Was saying that he was playing with the mouse and keyboard on his playthrough, and he said that it feels really good with like when you're in combat and you're swinging the sword around. He says using the mouse is pretty intuitive. Like you're.
I wonder if it's like Mordhau when we played Mordhau. I wonder if it's something like that. I'm gonna assume you got to move your mouse around to swing certain ways.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And like there's like a 5-star point. There's like the old game had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 4. So you have right, left, up, and down.
Is there like a center stab? I thought I seen somebody doing combat and he stabbed a guy straight on. Too.
You can stab people straight on. Like you learn different things too. Like if you go to like there's like these people that are like sword what do you call them? Like I don't know. Like
there's like a trainer, right? Like I thought I seen
sword masters or whatever. Yeah, like they'll train you on different shit. Like the hunters, like his son can train you in archery, and he'll show you how to like shoot a crossbow better and like a bow and arrow better or whatever. And like you can go to like the dude who's in the his name is, I forget what his name is, but he's with the nomads and he's like a sword master, and he'll teach you how to use the sword better, and he'll teach you like this cool combo that like he says that like it's very hard to block. Like if you do it correctly, you'll most likely always get a good hit on someone if you know how to pull it off. And he teaches you it, but I never do it because I always forget about it. But you can always pull up, like you can always pause in the middle of a battle, go to your menu or whatever and check your combos thing, and you'll see all the combos for everything. It'll be like left, right, left, right, up, down, right, like different combos you can do with your sword. And then it'll like, I think it's called the Master Strike, the one that he teaches you. That's the one that's really hard to block, he says. But the thing is, I was trying to do it on someone, and they knew how to do it too. And I'm like, what the fuck? This guy knows how to do it?
Oh, man.
So, like, the thing is, if they know how to do it and you know how to do it, they'll know how to counter it. But if they don't know how to do it and you know how to do it, you can fuck them up. But if they know how to do it too, then it's kind of not that hard for them to counter it. But yeah, the combat feels really good, dude, when you're fighting people and like for example, like I have a sword and shield, right? So like sometimes they'll get really close to me and like, you know, your swords will clash, like they'll swing from the left, I'll swing from the right, and like kind of like your swords will clash and you see the swords, you hear them like sliding against each other, and you're kind of like pushing up towards them and they're pushing towards you, and they kind of get in your face and you fucking punch them with your shield, like you hit him in the head, like in the face with the shield. It's so fucking epic. I'm like, that's fucking sick. Or like sometimes they'll punch you in the face, like you know, they'll swing with their arm and like you'll block it and they'll like turn around and hit you in the face with the other hand. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, the combat is actually pretty fun. I enjoy fighting people.
Yeah, it sounds like a game I might pick up as well. Like I said, and play it on the OLED in the room. Play it on the PC, but put it on my OLED TV and just kind of kick back and use a controller.
Yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
Be like Jesus up there on the OLED.
Yeah. I'm
like, well, I have this TV over here. I might as well like use it. You know, like it was just kind of sitting around right now, and I'm like, it's a little big. I know. Like you were talking with Gunny last week on the episode about he was looking at OLEDs, and I'm like, you mentioned like a 55. I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm right now using a third monitor. Yeah. You know, obviously it's way too big. Like you couldn't just like sit right up on it. But I have it off to my right, and so it's just a little ways over. I have like a 12-foot desk, so I can sit it over a little further. Yeah. It's all connected to my PC, so I can just launch it, and I can still sit in my chair and everything, and just roll over to that side and sit in front of it. Yeah, and just play, you know, or I can just sit in my bed or whatever and play it, or play from my bed, or however I want to do it, you know. Yeah. So I got to do it that route and just pick it up on Steam and
for sure. I think that you'll like it, and the game looks really good to it. It runs pretty decent. Not really buggy for like, you know, compared to the first one. The first one was very janky and buggy when it first came out. This one is actually pretty solid. Like,
well, it's a small team, right? Yeah. Wasn't it a small team? I know it was the first one, right? But
the first one was. This one might be a little bit bigger, yeah. But it is published by Deep Silver or whatever. So yeah, we'll see what. Yeah, we'll see. And I bought the gold edition, so it comes with like the DLC that they have planned for it. I think they said they have 3 separate expansions planned for it. So I'm trying to beat the game eventually, right? So I can play the DLC when it comes out. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the only other things I've been playing, Jesus, is when I've been playing in the living room, I've been still on the PlayStation, still playing Astrobot. And that game is really good, but the thing that kind of gets to me is like it gets a little old after a while. I kind of get out of the mood. Like I'll get in the game and it's really fun. I'm enjoying it, but it's such a platformer in the way of like you got to time things just right, and it can get challenging. There's like some of these extra bonus levels that are pretty difficult, and it's like you would die like 20 times trying to get through this little level, and after a while, it's just kind of like, okay, I'm done exploring and fighting my way through these levels. Like the regular level, it's like, oh, do I want to go through and find all 7 bots, find the 3 puzzle pieces, and I've just been slowly grinding away through at it. So it's like I'll play for about an hour, and I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Like put it down, go play something else, and then come back the next day, play for a little bit. Because like those how those platformers can be. You just keep on like trying to beat the same level over and over, and some of them are very timing based. Like you're trying to. This one I had to do. You're like. You jump on the back of it like a little armadillo, and you're rolling on a ball across spikes. Well, of course, they give you like a wheel that's rolling, and you got to roll across that. And then there's like a square that keeps flipping, and you got to roll across that, and you got to time it. But you can jump as well, and the ball will jump with you. But you got to do all these things, and you got to like time everything right. And there's little enemies that will shoot at you. So if you get somewhere too fast, you may end up right where he shoots, and you end up getting hit by a bullet because of the timing of things, so you're just like, oh man, and then you'll die something else, like you just happen to miss a jump because of the perspective where you gotta like just land a certain jump and you miss it, you over jump it or something like that, because it's behind your character view, so like, okay, you die 3 or 4 times, 5 times, whatever, and you beat it finally, and you're just like, okay, I'm glad I'm done with that kind of thing. And then after a while, it just kind of wears on you. I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I'm ready to play something different. But I am like halfway through the game, and it is cool. I mean, they do have cool little ideas in the game and stuff like that. One of the last levels I did, Jesus, is like you start off and you get this ability to soak up water. So you're like a sponge. You become like really thin and almost like 2D looking. Like when you turn sideways, you're like paper thin. But when you go in, it's like a bathhouse level. But when you jump in water, you soak up all the water and you become like giant. And you start wrecking the level. You're running, you're like knocking down the trees and kicking over fencing. And all the bad guys just bounce off of you. But you have to like hit your right trigger around these sponges, and it will like make the sponges grow to like a platform that you have to climb up. So you carry the water over there, you release the water by hitting the trigger. Those platforms grow. You jump your way up, then you find another thing of water. You grow big again, and you kind of work your way through. And of course, there's bots hidden where you got to utilize that. Like okay, you got to find this secret area over here. So usually you have to play each level twice to go back through and find all the bots you missed the first time and stuff. And the only thing I wish, I don't know if it's because I'm not the most versed in the PlayStation world, but a lot of the bots, I don't know who they are. It gives you like a hint, but it doesn't straight up say their name. I'm like, oh, that's such and such. Like I recognize like Ratchet and Clank and stuff, but I seen Ken from Street Fighter and stuff. But there's other ones I'm just like, who is this guy? I'm like, who? I have no idea who it is. So I'm not sure if you go back to the main thing, it shows you all the bots you've saved. They're the PlayStation ones, and maybe it'll tell me. But there is one level that was really fun though. It's how you become Kratos from God of War. You meet him and he gives you his axe, and you throw his axe and it freezes things. So it's kind of like it was in like Ragnarok, or maybe like the other 2018 God of War as well. But yeah, you get your axe, you throw your axe, and it'll freeze like water, and it makes a platform and stuff. And you're like a bigger little guy, so you're like small like Astrobot, but when you get the Kratos version of him, you're bigger. You're like doubled in size, and and you're strong, and you have this little battle axe you can hit people with, and you gotta throw it. And it was a really fun level, but it was themed, after God of War. And even like one of the enemies, it's like this they're little round guys and they have little spikes that pop out of them. Like there's a dead one and he's like frozen in the land, but he's like giant. So you're like climbing up him as part of the level, kind of like you would in God of War, where you're climbing up this big, whatever dragon or whatever in God of War. So it gives you stuff like that. So I'm not sure what other characters are in the game that are like that. Time will tell, but I'm about halfway through it. So I'll keep on playing on that. Another game, Jesus, I played. I don't know if you're a fan or not. Are you a fan of chess at all?
Yes and no.
Okay, so there's this new chess game. It's like Balatro.
Okay.
And it's really cool. I kind of like it. There's a free demo on Steam, and it is called Passant, Passant. And it says it's a chess roguelike demo, is the name on Steam.
Okay.
And so you have like a chessboard, and you'll start with so many chess pieces. You'll have like a whole row of pawns, and then a king, and then you'll have this other character. It's a new chess piece, and it will lock any chess piece that's beside it on the enemy team, so they can't move. It can't attack. It can't like take somebody's piece. But if you get it close to an enemy's piece, it'll lock it so they can't attack or they can't move away, and you can hold that piece there. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So when you beat that, you kill the king. There's different winning conditions. When you take their king, say the next level, you go to a store where you can buy new like chess pieces. You can design where you want to put them in your starting row in the bottom, or you can have like these little perks, like these little cards. And so I purchased this one card that made a magic spot on the board. And anytime I moved a chess piece there, it like upgraded my chess piece. But when it upgraded them, it didn't just like upgrade it like you would if you got a pawn to the back of the other person's side. It upgrades it like my pawn became a man, and the man was able to move in every direction like a king. So he was no longer like a pawn. And then my knight, I did it with my knight, and he became a knight and like a bishop together. So he can move diagonally all the way across the board like a bishop, or he can move in the L pattern like a knight. So he could do both. But the computer also has these abilities. So you like have to watch what they have, and you can buy these new chess pieces. And as you go, you get money by how quick you win or how many turns you win and stuff like that. And you take your money, you spend it on new chess pieces. You can buy a queen, or you can buy another one of these people that lock things down. And so they have this interesting little there's I think there's like a super king that can do stuff different, and then there's a queen that so there's like a variant to all these chess pieces. But it's a pretty cool game. It's free. It's a free demo right now, but it's called Passant, Passant, and I like it. It's pretty cool. It's very simple. It's very chill. A lot like Balatro, it's the little store in between the rounds. It's just not poker. It's just chess this time. But pretty cool. And then the last thing Jesus I've been playing is I did the demo for the Precinct. Did you ever play that? It came
Yeah.
out a little while ago. What did you think of that?
I liked it a lot. I can't wait for it to
I liked
come
it
out.
too. So I played through it, and I thought it was really cool at the beginning how you do the little thing and you're on the beat, and all of a sudden there's a bank robbery. You drive over there. It's that top down view, kind of like the old original GTA.
Yeah.
And so you do that little shootout, and that guy gets away, and you got to capture him. You got to damage your vehicle as you're chasing them, and when you capture them, you don't read them their rights. And then you find out oh yeah, so you get in trouble for not doing it right, and they put you on foot. And you're doing parking tickets, and then I can't remember. There's something that happens. You arrest a couple people. Well, then you end up in a helicopter. That was kind of neat. And there's like a high speed chase, and you're trying to follow the car around. And so that was a fun little game. I have a lot of good ideas in that game. And it was kind of like a sim too. Like it was kind of like you literally have to book the person when you catch them, and make sure you read them their rights. And you gotta put them in your car and take them all the way back to the precinct, to jail and all that stuff. So. Pretty neat. And then you got to sign off on it. It gives you a little card and be like, did you read them their rights? Did you do this? Did you use force when you weren't supposed to?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I'm actually really high for it because I like it's a really cool cop game. Like you're arresting people. You're arresting like the kid that was tagging, and you have the shootout. Really cool. You have a shootout. Yeah, the art style is pretty nice. Like it actually pretty cool. Like pretty cool fucking little game. I'm excited for it, but
I feel like it's a long way off.
Well, the developer originally was supposed to release the game in like September of last year. Then they delayed it till December of last year. Then December came around. They released the demo like in November or something like that, or October. Then December came around, and they were like, "Oh, we're delaying the game again. We don't know till when."
Yeah, I just pulled it up on Steam, and it says we have made the difficult decision to move the release date to the first half of 2025.
Yeah, now they're saying Q1 2025, but they haven't said nothing else to people. They haven't said.
It's a core team of 5 people. So so they're working. It says we do not have the same resources as a large AAA studio to make a similar sandbox style game. We've been working tirelessly at the moment to add polish to the final game and implement bug fixes. We can try to hit our 2024 release, as a time. But we waited so late in the year about this announcement. But even all 5 of us working as hard as we can, we do not believe we'll be able to make to deliver the game to the time they want in the in that short of time. But hopefully it comes out soon. It seemed like it was really cool. And for a group of 5, they've done a good job so far.
Yeah, it looks really good for a team of 5 people.
The only thing I didn't really care for is a little bit of chat at the beginning, how it showed the people in a line, and the one would step forward and it'd give you a little chat. I wish it just had some quick voice acting, but again, they don't have the people for it. I can tell, It'd been nice if they just gave you a little bit of voice acting. And so, but I mean, it had a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it had some voice acting in it, and then, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right. Anyways, I guess it's news time.
Yeah, it's news time, I guess.
It's news
as Gunny would say.
Let's give us some news mail. I think Gunny updated the news for us.
He sent me one article while we were talking here, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
This is old news. Let me look up some news. Some new news here. Some new news. Yes. If you guys didn't know, PlayStation is back up. Of course, you know this, but if you wonder why it was down, we don't know why. They said it was operational issues from what I heard on Saturday. It was operational issues, and yeah.
And this is what the first time it's been down since 2011, or like a significant time since 2000.
Yeah. 2011 was when they had that big hack.
Yeah, I remember that. So that's funny because that was the last time I tried having a PlayStation. I remember I bought a used PS3, I think at the time. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
And I bought it with the Move controllers. And I remember Yeah, like I had it for a little bit, and then the PlayStation Network went down, and my kids never wanted to play it. Like they never asked once for like 3 months to play this thing. So it was just sitting there collecting dust. So I ended up just trading it in. I'm like, I'm selling this thing. I'm gonna go buy some PC parts. I'm like, this thing's just sitting there because I had the move controllers and everything, and I can't remember what the game was. It was some kind of like side-scrolling game that you would shoot enemies. I can't remember if it was one that came with the move controllers or not. Because they had that archery game where you pretend like you were firing like a bow and arrow and stuff. But this was like almost like what was it, like a time crisis game where you just stood still and your move controllers were your gun and you were pointing them at the screen and you had to aim at the enemies and the screen moved for you and enemies would pop up and you would shoot them before they would shoot at you and stuff. And I remember playing that and that was a lot of fun. But that was like the end of that. Like when that happened, that's when I got rid of my PlayStation. I'm like, I'm getting rid of this thing. And that was like the last time I had a console because it was between that and picking up the Gran Turismo at the time. And I remember buying the physical copy of it, Jesus. And this is back when I had bad internet. Put the game in, excited to play. And it's like, oh, we have a patch to update. And it had a download. And it took me like half a day. I can't remember why. Like my internet was bad. It was like 2 meg or 3 meg or something like that back in the day. And it took forever to download that patch. And then finally, like the next day, like when it was done downloading or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go play. I went to go jump on and the PlayStation had an update and it took a while. And so I was so mad. And I'm like, I'm done with this.
Dude, back in the day, those PlayStation 3 updates would take like fucking long time. Like
yeah, I can't remember if just the internet wasn't good then because
I don't know what it was.
I always tried to have good internet, but there was a time
because
where I
the
didn't have a lot
Xbox
of extra
updates
money.
never took as long. I think just the infrastructure that PlayStation had was shit, dude. I think it's because that's when PlayStation was still free. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have the money to fucking have good shit because
That's why they were charging what, like $600 for a console back then?
Yeah, but
what was it, the PS3 cost or something like that? I remember being crazy expensive. I bought it used.
But the multiplayer was free, dude, and it was fucking wild that like multiplayer was free, and that's why everyone liked it. But I remember that when they got hacked, that's when I did the same thing, man. When they got hacked, I think I had just bought a PlayStation, and I think maybe I don't know if I still had my Xbox or not. I don't know if I did. But yeah, it got hacked like right after I got my PlayStation. I was so mad. I got rid of it too. I was like, this is some bullshit. I was so mad. I was like, this sucks. Yeah. But same thing happened where I had just bought it, maybe like 2 weeks into it, and boom, hacked. And you were down for a month. I was like, this is fucking trash.
It was kind of cool the other day. My son and I picked him up, and he decided he has his own money now. He's got a job, right? He's 19 now, and he wanted to come over, but he wanted to go to a game store. He goes, "I have a challenge for us." He goes, "I want to pick up a Game Boy 3DS for some reason." Yeah, he wanted a 3DS to play a Pokemon
Nintendo
game.
3DS.
Yes. And
how much
I'm
does
like,
things
okay.
go for nowadays?
So we went to one here in the one town by us, and they had a whole bunch of old systems. It's really cool to look at. They had like PS3s, PS2s. They had 3DOs. They had a Genesis there. They had an NES there. They had the redesigned NES, like the top load one.
Yeah.
But I think he paid like $150 or $170 for a Nintendo 3DS.
He got a really good deal.
One.
He got a good deal because they're like $200.
They had one in the box. It was still brand new in the box, and it was like $239 in the.
That's even a pretty good deal then, because the ones I'm looking at on eBay, they're like $220.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh wait, this one's brand new from Japan though. That's $220. But the other ones, these are all from Japan, dude. These are all imported from Japan. What the fuck? The fuck?
That's crazy.
All these ice white ones from Japan. I wonder if
he got like a teal blue color. That's all they had. They had like 2 or 3 of those, and the brand new one was like a red one, I think. That's why at least that's what the picture in the box was. But then he wanted it to play some Pokemon games, right? And so they had one there. I had this case, they had them all in the case. And he was like, I want to get this one. And I don't know the names because it's Pokemon. I can't keep track of those games. And he ended up paying like $55 for one of them. It was like started with a Z, maybe like like Pokemon X or something like I can't remember what it was. But they had another one there he wanted, and that game was like $175 for that Pokemon game. And he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna hold off on that one." He thought about buying it. I'm like, "Dude," I said, "that's a lot of money to play, to pay for just the original cartridge when you can just emulate it." Because he's emulated them before and beat pretty much all of them. But he just wanted to have a 3DS and play them on it, and he was gonna buy that one. He ended up buying just the one game, but
One Pokemon game.
yeah, it was like $175 or $180
for one Pokemon game.
Yeah, I don't know. I could Google it and see
Which Pokemon game did he get?
Again, I'm not sure what it was. I'd have to look at the list of them.
Was it Pokemon? Look at the Pokemon games. Every Pokemon game, there's Pokemon Shuffle, which I don't think it was that one. There's Pokemon Rumble Blast. There's Pokemon Rumble World. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Let's look at number one on the list. Number one on the list is... So there's Pokemon Omega, Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire. There's Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon. And Pokemon X and Y.
I think he got X. Is the one that was cheap. That was like 50. And then he wanted to get, I want to say Ultra Moon, maybe?
That was
either that or it was the white version 2 or something. Yeah, but one of them was really expensive. He even looked them up on eBay, and they were going for that much money on eBay and stuff as well.
Good. What the fuck?
I was like, holy cow. And he's like, the sad thing is, he goes, I had it, and he lost it at one point in time.
Shut the fuck up.
So it wasn't a 3DS game. So what would have been the Nintendo Game Boy before that? So because it would have played in the 3DS, but it was older. Because he's like, I had it, and he had a Game Boy Advance, so it must have played in the Advance. But that's the game that it was. So it was actually a Game Boy Advance game, but it played in the 3DS. But whatever one it was very pricey. But I was like, yeah, I would wait and pick that one up. I'll have to ask him again and report back to you next week. I'll let you know what it was. But where I was going with it, it was really neat to see all the consoles they had there at the shop. They probably had 50 different consoles that were used at least. And a lot of them were like Xbox Ones and like PlayStation 3s, PlayStation 4s. But they had, like I said, they had a Nintendo there. They had a Nintendo with a Rob still in the box, which was pretty cool. I don't know what they wanted for that. They didn't have it. They were all in a case. But they had a 3DO. They had a Atari Jaguar there. They had they had Panasonic. It was like the Philips one or whatever it was with a drive. It had like a disc drive. I can't remember what that one was called, but they had that there because my son was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't remember what that one was called." But yeah, they had a lot there. It was kind of neat. They had an old 2600 Atari. They had ColecoVision there, and so it was neat. But yeah, we spent a good amount of time there, just kind of walking around, looking at different stuff. And he picked that up, and he went home. He was all excited to play it and stuff. And he played it for a while. I'll have to ask him how it goes whenever I see him again. But I almost thought about picking up a Rob for like decoration. I used to have a regular NES that was working. I bought one time at a garage sale from a guy, and I bought like 6 or 7 games, and everything worked. And I had an old 1980s CRT tube TV, and it played it all old school. So the zapper gun and everything would work on it. I would set it up and play it, but I just didn't use it enough. And then sometimes the games didn't work that well. If you bumped the Nintendo, it would mess it up or whatever. And so I ended up having a friend I ended up giving it away to. And then they went ahead and took the time to sit there and work on it. They did some soldering or something like that to get it working right, and it works great. And he plays with it with his 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old son. And so the two of them have been having fun playing that, which is kind of cool. So they've been appreciating that. But I was going to use it for like a display in a cabinet where a bunch of the games are, and I'd have the Nintendo in there. And I wanted to buy a Rob and put the Rob in there because I never had a Rob, and I always thought that would be neat to have that there as a just as a decoration. Even though I never got to experience one, but it was cool. So I was like, oh, this is something I want to pick up. And then too late now because I already got rid of the Nintendo and I seen the Rob and everything. Unless I decide to buy one again. But that's pretty much all I have on that story. Jesus did step out real quick. So I will, on the information, Gunny did send me a news article. He sent me an article talking more about PlayStation news. that PlayStation California office fires an undisclosed number of employees. Job cuts come in the wake of programming tools provider SN Systems greatly fully integrated by Sony. So more job cuts at Sony. You know, we've been hearing it left and right. All these job cuts and everything. That's probably not why the PlayStation was down, but it says an industry-wide layoff showed no signs of stopping as Sony Interactive Entertainment quietly fires an undisclosed number of PlayStation employees, according to former senior design technologist Oscar Diaz, one of the affected workers. He tweeted out, "Most of my team was just laid off from PlayStation. It was a dream to get to work with Sony on the platform I grew up playing since the PS1 and contribute to the PS5, Portal, PSVR 2, PS app, and future consoles. If you know anyone who needs an engineer experience native console UI, feel free to reach out." So he's out there looking for work. This is first spotted on Reddit. His posts across his social media pages revealed that he and a majority of his team were laid off from PlayStation with no reason provided for the job cuts. According to Oscar's LinkedIn and GitHub pages, he was responsible for building tools and processes related to UI and UX, as well as prototyping new experiences across console, VR, and mobile, indicating the department was impacted. Based on the developers listed residents in San Francisco, it is reasonable to assume the company's global headquarters in San Mateo was the office affected. So Jesus was talking about the news Gunny had sent me where Sony had a bunch of layoffs.
Oh, did they?
And yeah, so I'm not surprised, right? That's something we see all the time.
Yeah.
It's like more layoffs, more or less. I did see, and I don't know if you've seen an article on this or not. I was on YouTube today earlier before I was playing games, and I was watching some Asmongold. I don't know if you know who Asmongold is or not, but I was watching some of his stuff, and he was talking. I guess somebody was saying that we gamers, that developers are thinking that we gamers are ready for $100 games. And so I don't know if that's going to be a push, but and he was talking about a way like that's going to be a mistake. He's like, if we have $100 games, not like deluxe editions and stuff, that they're just going to like price themselves too high, and they're going to have a harder time selling stuff. What do you think on that, Jesus?
I don't know if I think we're not ready for $100 games. I don't think people are gonna.
Yeah, that's a
People are
lot.
gonna be.
That's a big jump.
People are gonna be very picky on what they buy. There's $100 fucking games, dude.
I mean, I could maybe if they like slowly work their way up to it, but to go from 69 to 100,
Yeah, no.
that's a big jump. You know, I mean, I could see it maybe going to like 79, you know,
Yeah.
and then maybe to 100 or something, maybe like a couple steps in between, but like that's
People
a
are
lot.
saying that the one that's gonna set the bar is GTA 6. They're thinking GTA 6 is gonna come out and they can charge $100 and people will pay it. And I think people would pay it, but I wonder if that's really the way it's going to go. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Could you imagine if it got to the point where the base game is $100? So then to get early access, you're going to pay $130, you know? And if you want the deluxe edition, you're going to pay $150 or something like that. It's going to be a chunk.
Yeah.
Then I would probably back off. I mean, I don't really buy those deluxe editions. I know you do, Jesus, but I don't typically buy those like special editions, like, you know, for the early access or whatever. I just wait. I can be patient.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got to have it now, don't you?
A lot of times I do, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen like that, but yeah, just want to get some more news. I got some Avowed news for you, Mayo. If you're excited for Avowed, Xbox Game Studios and Obsidian's Entertainment's upcoming action role-playing game Avowed will feature multiple graphics modes on your Xbox Series X. So, they were asked if Avowed was going to need or gonna have graphics modes, different graphics mode for the Xbox Series X, or if 60 FPS was always the vision. In response, they said that the team always wanted to provide the best performance experience possible, and but they also said that they have 3 graphics modes available on the Xbox Series X. One of them is named Quality, Balance, and then Performance. So there's that. Balance mode will obviously deliver an experience between quality and performance for those who will play the game on a 120 hertz display. So there's that. They will offer 30, 40, and 60 FPS modes. So there's that. There's going to be a 30 and 40 FPS mode on the Series S only. So the S is only getting 30 or 40. Series X is getting 30, 40, and 60. As always, the 30 FPS quality mode will deliver the best possible graphics at the highest possible resolution on both consoles. On the other hand, the 40 FPS balance mode will offer a balance between visuals and performance on both the Xbox Series X and S. Meanwhile, the 60 FPS performance mode will only be available on the Series X, which will target, of course, the higher frame rates while making compromises on the graphics and resolution. This is set to come out this week on the 18th, or next week on the 18th, actually. The 18th is next week, Tuesday, right? So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. More news, Mayo. Trying to look for more news. Hold on here. So, fuck. I don't know what else is there for news, man. It's like no fucking news.
Yeah. Quiet week, is it?
Oh, wait. For the people affected by the PlayStation outage, PlayStation has come out and said that you will get an extra 5 days of service added to your PS Plus.
Oh yeah, I did see some people online complain about that because they pay for PS Plus and they're like, it's like a monthly subscription. There are people are like, oh, I want a free month. I want my money back, or you better give me a free month for the time I lost.
A month? I guess.
Yeah, well, they got 5 days, I guess. Deal with it.
Yeah. See here. What else do we have here for news? I'm trying to see what news we have, man. Pretty much no news. Yeah. I don't see any news for anything about gaming. It's like no fucking news, man. Yeah. The only thing that I have is that some of the 5080 series cards are arriving dead on arrival.
Yeah, I heard that.
Some 5090s are burning people's computers up, like literally catching on fire and shit. And like some people are saying that some of their graphics cards are just not working when they arrive. And so yeah, I don't know. Also, rumor has it Call of Duty's been breaking people's PCs as well with the latest season or whatever. I don't know, man. But I don't fucking know what's going on here.
Have you played any more? While you're still looking for news, have you played any more of the Sniper Elite?
No, I haven't. Have you played it at all?
No, because I don't have Game Pass and I didn't buy it yet. I've never played any of them. I played one for just a minute and I didn't like it. I want to say it was 4 or 5. What number are they up to now? Which one is this one?
This is 5 or 6.
Okay, so I got played the last one that came.
No,
on
this
Game
is 5.
Pass.
Maybe this
So it might
is
have
6.
been 4.
This is just called Sniper Elite Resistance. Maybe it's 6.
It was one of them on Game Pass. I remember when it first came out. I checked it out. And I didn't care for it. It seemed like it was okay, but it just wasn't my kind of game. I'm not big in stealth, just sneaking around all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have no more news other than the fact that Take-Two says that they believe that Grand Theft Auto is still on track to release this year, and that they think that with GTA 6 coming out this year, that they will definitely see an increase in Xbox console sales. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they will, because if people can't afford to buy like the PlayStation Pro, right, they're gonna go for the next best graphics, which would be the Series X in terms of like performance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next best thing, right? The Series X.
Yeah.
Because it's more powerful than the regular PS5. So I'm assuming they're gonna have the best graphics probably on the Pro, then the Series X, then the PS5, and then PC a year later or a year and a half later. Yeah, I don't have any more news, man. There's nothing here. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Breaking news. Hold up. Breaking news.
Oh, breaking news.
Fucking breaking mail. This may be unlikely, but this may have just happened. A Canadian Costco employee recently shared pictures of an internal product listing. It's called Nintendo Switch Placeholder. Okay. This is the price, supposedly, for the The
Switch
new
2?
Switch, yeah.
I'm guessing 400.
You're right on it, man. Right, you're right on it, bro. Right on it.
Nice, yeah.
So
I just had a feeling like
in Canada, the this is a Canadian Costco or whatever. They posted the price apparently, and apparently it's 500 Canadian, which is 100 more than the original Switch, and 50 more than the OLED for what they sell in Canada. Meanwhile, in the U.S., it sells for $299 and then $349 for the OLED. So they're saying that this would be a $50 increase in price. So if this is in fact correct, the new console will be $400 at launch, which is a pretty good price point. I mean, whatever.
yeah, I think so. The other day I seen some Switches at like a Walmart or something. I just happened to look, and I think they had them there for like 320 or 340 for the OLED Switch. And I can see them probably dropping a little bit in price. I see them probably dropping $50 or $75, maybe even 100, maybe like 220, 230 for a Switch. I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably get one just
and
because Nintendo.
I think they're gonna continue selling the regular Switch. They will, right? Like that's what Nintendo does, right? They don't just it's not like the Wii U, right? Where like they're just gonna just kill it right away. Like no, they're gonna keep selling it.
Well, they
for
said
a
it
while.
would play all the Switch games as well. Your library is going to start coming with you, but so I think they're going to keep selling the regular Switch for a while yet, probably another year.
I'd say even another 2 years, dude. They could really push it out. I mean, really, like they might get rid of that other one though, the Switch Lite.
Yeah, I would
unless no, listen. I think this is what's gonna happen. Honestly, I think they're gonna drop the Switch Lite to $100, $99. They're gonna have the Switch regular for $200, the OLED for $250 to $300, and then the new Switch for $400. Then you have a price point like almost at every price point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You have one at like the cheapest, which is $100. You have one at $200. You have one at $300, and then you have one at $400. So like, yeah, like you have one at every price, and then you could catch like the entire market there. Like, no one will have a reason to not have a Switch. Everyone will have some kind of Switch. You know.
And they'll still charge $70 for an old game.
Yeah.
Their games are still so expensive. I remember we looked at the other day again, and when we were in that used store, and you could look like at Mario Odyssey or whatever the Switch one was, and it's still like used. It's still like $50. I'm like, wow. I don't know if it was Odyssey, but whatever one was on the Switch, the 3D Mario.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a lot. I have no more news. There's no news. There's no news, Mayo. I'm literally looking for news everywhere right now. News everywhere. There's nothing. There's
nothing.
No fucking news. All the news is done. No more news. Yeah. Besides, the Super Bowl was yesterday, and the Eagles won. They won by. I mean, they were looking the shit out of Kansas City for like the whole game, and then all of a sudden at the end, Kansas City decided to play and score.
They decided to show up, right?
Yeah, 2-3 touchdowns.
A couple to make it look good.
Yeah, like what the fuck? But yeah, now people are posting all the photos of the and all the videos of the people in Philly rioting because that's what they do when they win. For some reason, they riot.
Yeah, I don't think we had that here in Columbus when they won the national championship or whatever for football.
Yeah,
it was pretty quiet here. Like I never heard much. Like I didn't really pay attention to the news, but no, I didn't see anything crazy. And I've been downtown a couple of times, and I haven't seen nothing crazy down there. So I think it was pretty civil. I know they did have like a couple of days or whatever afterwards, like the week after, they had where you can go and Kroger and Myers had like partnerships where they had to like, because of Dr. Pepper, they had to take the trophy to the stores. So they had the trophy like at our local Kroger's. You could go there and see it, and they were moving it around. Like, oh, is it this Kroger for an hour? And then is it this Myers for an hour and stuff like that? We could go see it. But that's pretty much all I heard about it. They had a little celebration in the stadium, but no, nothing too crazy happened, I don't think.
Civ 7 just came out today. I thought about picking it up, but I'm like,
that's another one. That's another one I thought about picking up too, because I haven't played 6 that much. I didn't like 6. Yeah. And I'm a little worried about 7.
But the reviews are really mixed on Steam. They're like quite a bit of a negative reviews that I'm reading. Like people are pissed.
I haven't even seen them push it very much on Steam, like across the top or anything.
Yeah, like I saw them because that's like the first game that popped up today on my home screen, right? Because I think they know I play like Frostpunk and all that shit. So like, hey, this game might be for you. And I clicked on it and I looked at the reviews and it was like mostly it said mixed, mostly negative. I was like, what? I started reading them, and a lot of people are saying that like you don't play as a civilization anymore. Like you don't play as the Americans or as India or as Russia or as China or as Japan. You play as a leader of a country. So like say you pick Abraham Lincoln, for example, right? Like the leader of the US. And you start off as like something, like a nothing, like a village or something, and then you when like they say when like the time evolves, like it goes from like ancient era to like whatever medieval or whatever era.
Well, it goes
Like
newer than
that.
that because there's like a picture here has tanks and airplanes.
Well, yeah, but when it goes from, but you know how it switches eras. Like you start off in like Stone Age, right? Then you go to like
Oh, okay, yeah.
the medieval era. Then you go to like the ancient era. Then you go to like the industrial revolution era. Then you go to like the modern era or whatever. When every time you switch an era, that's when your civilization switches based on how your people are doing or whatever. You know what I mean? So like instead of being like set like we're always the Americans or we're always the Japanese or we're always the Russians or we're always Chinese or we're always the Germans or whatever country you pick, right? Like the Egyptians or whatever, you are now just like a civilization, and then when you evolve, when like it comes to a new age of a new time, like you might evolve to being the Mongolians, or you might evolve to being the Egyptians or the Indians or the Russians. Like you evolve based on the tech that you know and the stuff that's going on in your kingdom or your civilization, I guess. And it might switch. So you might go from being like the Germans in like the fucking ancient times to all of a sudden you're the Americans now. It's like what? That seems kind of
right.
odd, like an odd choice, like a really odd choice. Like usually you would pick a civilization based on their perks. Like, oh, this civilization has like a perk where they're very good with water. They know how to like, or they're very good at living in the desert. Like you pick these guys because you know, like if I pick a desert area, like they're very good at building cities in the desert. You know what I mean? Like so, like it's kind of odd that like they made that choice. They've also don't have the option to rename your cities. That's just not part of the game. They said like. I was like, what? That's like one of the main things you do in the fucking game when you play it. Like,
right.
you rename everything. You rename it to whatever the fuck you want to name it. It's really odd that they don't like they're saying that like the developer came out today and pointed out that's like one of the things they're working on is, oh, we're working really hard to bring that update to you. It's like, wait a minute, like why wasn't this there from the beginning? And now people are also complaining that like a lot of the tech is kind of weird. Like the tech tree is like it's cool, but it's not like it's different from the old games. And like they're saying that they took a lot from that other game, the one that came out what the fuck was it called? Before We Leave or something? Some other fucking like Civ type game. They took a lot of shit from that. And they take a lot of shit from like these other games that are not Civ games. People are like, this is not a Civ game. This is like a Civ game, but you guys took a lot of shit from other games and you didn't know how to implement it correctly. And now you fucked it up. So people are mad. People are fucking pissed. All right, like
yeah,
I don't know.
I'll probably wait on it then.
I'm just I'm thinking of waiting on it, and yeah, like Eurogamer gave it a bad score. Eurogamer gave it like a really bad score.
Yeah, like I said, I'm picking up Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I just got the Game Pass while we were talking, and so I'm already downloading Indiana Jones, so I'll be playing those. I'll wait and see if there's new patches or they turn things around here in the next little bit. Because, you know, if I feel like if you own a Civ game, you've owned them all. You know, like they change it, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like I could go back and play 5 if I have the itch.
Yeah. Like this one, I don't know. People are saying like it's really weird. But I don't know. I might still pick it up. People say the graphics look really nice.
Yeah, it does look really good.
But other than that, like the concepts and the things is just too like not well implemented or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but they're saying like some of the stuff did get reworked. Like now instead of having like a military unit by itself, you can have a general that commands like all the military. Like one general can command like a shitload of units. You know what I mean? So they're saying like you can do that now, and like a few other different things that you could do that makes it a little bit better. But like they're saying like some of the winning conditions aren't like really good. Like you know how you could win through like diplomacy, culture, domination. You know, like like
Yeah.
military domination, and like the other one is like tech. So they're saying like those are not really well implemented. For example, like they're saying you can build a nuclear weapon, and you can build lots of them, but like it doesn't matter how many you have. You don't win by building nukes. You win by building like something called the something project, which I forget what the name was. Not the hand project, but something else. And like if you build that, then that's how you win. Like they're saying it's really weird that like the way these things are like it's just they're saying like it's not really well optimal. But maybe you know what? Maybe I'll give it the 2 hour Steam trial. 2 hours enough though.
Probably not.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be playing a 7 hour session. I don't like this game. I want a refund. And they're gonna tell me to fuck off.
Right. Too late.
Like they did with the other game. Or fuck you, man. You played 7 hours of this shit. You want a fucking refund? You're gonna tell me to fuck right off like they did last time with the other shit. But yeah. Let's see here. Phasmophobia has now sold 22 million copies, Mayo.
Wow. I heard that game changed quite a bit. My son played it a lot. He said it's changed a lot where he didn't like it as well. It kind of went the wrong direction.
Yeah. Also, Pokemon still pretty big. You know that McDonald's has like a Pokemon thing going on right now at the Happy Meals?
I did see something when I was in one.
You get Pokemon card. You get like an actual Pokemon card deck. Like not a deck, but like a pack. Like a little pack. You get like a little Pokemon pack every time you buy a Happy Meal. So people are going to like McDonald's and buying all the Happy Meals. But like McDonald's has like the one in my town here, like right around the corner from my house, kind of. This one has like they have a big sign that says like 5 Happy Meals per customer is the max limit we're willing to sell you. Like then it says like no, we do not sell the toys separately. Like you must buy a Happy Meal to get the toy, but do not ask for more than 5 at a time because we will not sell you more than 5. So there's that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Jesus over there getting Happy Meals. He's over there like
I got one the other day just to see what it was because I was like, why are people going crazy over these toys? So I legit ordered a Happy Meal just to see what it was. So I knew it was Pokemon, but I didn't know it was like an actual card deck. And I was like, oh shit, there's a card deck in here. Like this is what people are going crazy for. Like these decks, like not a deck, but like these packs. And then I opened up the pack and it was Pokemon card, like legit, like a 5-pack of Pokemon card, like an actual pack. I was like, that's kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And I also know that people are going crazy at Costco because Costco has like a big box thing. Like it's like a I don't know what it is, man, but it's like a big box, man. Like not little, like it's big. But it's a bunch of Pokemon cards, like I think it's decks or like packs or whatever. And people are like, they go to Costco like in the morning and stand in line, and then they run in there and fight each other for these boxes of Pokemon boxes at Costco. Have you seen those videos? I've seen those videos. Yeah.
No.
So like Costco, like they open the doors up, everybody runs in, and then they like roll out the pallet. And it's like a pallet. It's just like a pallet. Costco just rolls out the pallet, and it's like all these boxes stacked up, and they like tell the people, okay, go. And everyone just fucking goes at it, dude. And they'll grab like fucking 5 of them, like 5 boxes, and fucking run away. And it's like, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, that is nuts.
That is.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Valve has implemented a new thing, right? They have new rules, Mayo, for you people making games.
Oh, I think I heard this.
There's the rule around advertising. And this shit explicitly prohibits games that forces players to watch in-game ads.
Yeah, I did see that on.
So if
on
your
YouTube.
game has an ad, so yeah, you're gonna be
somebody
banned.
said that like that affects EA. I don't know what has an ad.
I don't know either.
Like I can't think of anything.
I see mobile games that have ads, right? Like oh, like if you want to continue playing, watch this ad for 5 minutes and then play or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I've never seen that on Steam, unless free to play games have it. Have you? I don't know. I don't really play free to play games, but do free to play games have ads like that? Like
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think they would, right? Like, what is an ad in the game? Like, maybe they're getting ahead of Microsoft and EA. Because remember, EA and Microsoft, didn't they both patent like a way to put ads into video games?
Yeah, when I seen the quick YouTube thing on it, it had a picture of EA saying it was going to affect them. So I don't know.
Because EA announced, remember, EA announced that they had like they figured out they have like a patent on like putting ads into video games, but I don't think they've actually done it yet. I just think they said that they could do it. Maybe this is just Steam getting ahead of them, being like, no, motherfucker, you're not gonna get ahead of us. We're gonna get ahead of you. You're not gonna put ads in our games.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. We're just getting ahead of it.
Yeah. It says here, these rules come from Valve, which are available online. It confirms that while cross-promotion and product placement is permitted, games that force players to watch or engage with advertising in order to play are not. Nor should any developer use an advertisement as a way to provide value to the player, such as giving you a reward for watching such ad or engaging with advertising in any of their games. Developers should not utilize paid advertising as a business model in their game, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with your advertisements in order to play or gate gameplay behind any advertising, the rules explain. It says here, if your game's business model relies on advertising on other platforms, you will need to remove these elements before shipping them on Steam. Some options you could consider include switching to a single purchase paid app or making your game free to play with optional upgrades sold via microtransactions or DLC. Huh. Also, developers are not allowed to charge other developers for access to Steam features such as your sales page, your bundles, your storefronts, or franchise pages. Also, last week, Valve added a new feature which warns users and people that are potentially going to buy a game, Mayo, how long the game's been in early access, and when was the last time that game received a patch in early access. That's kind of neat, right? So if you buy like an early access game, you kind of know like, like, is this thing being supported? Is it fucking dead? That's kind of cool. Like, I'm glad that they have that. Some games need that. Because some games are scams, right? Like straight up scams. Like, yeah. And early access for Avowed is available if you buy that whatever edition of the game. Okay. All right, Mayo, you're gonna buy that edition, okay? If you buy that special edition of the game, you can play the game on the 13th, which is Thursday. That's the premium edition of the game. Alongside of getting early access, Mayo, you also get 2 premium skin packs, a digital art book, and a soundtrack. And you will be able to play
Do you ever mess with those? Like,
never.
I've had a couple. Have you ever looked at your Steam library and
I've had
had
soundtracks for games and fucking art books. I never look at them.
Me either.
Never. Even like if I like the game a lot, I still never look at them.
I would rather they put their time and money into something else. You know, the soundtrack's easy for them, I guess, because they already made it.
Yeah.
But like the art book,
like what the fuck, an art book? Like I don't get that. It's whatever. Like, man, unless your game is like really fucking beautiful, man. Like I don't know. You know what I would have liked an art book for though? Red Dead.
Yeah.
Like not just like an art book, but like I want like an art book in like a form of Arthur Morgan, like scenery of the game. Because there's some really beautiful areas of that map. Like you just stand there and you look around, you're like, damn, that looks nice. Like that in an art form would be dope. But like I would only look at it once and probably never look at it again. So yeah.
Another article I seen, I'm trying to get the pop up here. I did see it just briefly too, that Donkey Kong's famed kill screen has been cleared. It's for and it's like the very first time ever, like somebody's gotten past that screen on Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And it said there's like a new method that exploits a ladder climbing glitch. So it's some kind of glitch, and you can get past the kill screen of the. I guess was that like the point of no, like the game doesn't go on any further after that.
Yeah. Yeah. See here. More news. I don't have anything else, man. This is all. No fucking news today. Like literally no. Where's Gunny when I need him? God damn it, Mayo.
Right?
At least Gunny brings me news, Mayo. What did you bring me, Mayo? No fucking news. You just show up here. Don't bring any fucking news.
Last minute. I was over here playing some games. You know, I'm on vacation this week. Jesus, it's little as work possible. I don't think I left the house today.
Yeah, yeah. That's not you left the house
I'm
at
like,
all.
yep, no, like not at all.
Nice.
Tomorrow I will, maybe, if I'm not playing Kingdom Come. I did buy it, though. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I did buy that as well. I bought it through CD keys.
Well, how much was it on there?
Like 48. It was like almost
cool.
like 50 after tax. Saved me like $10. I got the regular edition. They had the standard for 50, or the deluxe for 59. I just got the standard.
Yeah. What's going on here? What's this Infinity Nikki game? What is this shit?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Looking at it, and it says this is a Genshin Impact killer. It looks like a Japanese game where you're playing as a chick, and she's called Infinity Nikki, and she's fighting shit. I don't know. Looks weird. Yeah. More news here. I don't have any more news. That's all we have for news, people. What we have for news? Yeah. That's
Everybody's playing Kingdom Come right now. That's why. They're not creating any news. They're all busy.
Everyone's playing games. Everyone's like, yeah.
It's cold. We're staying in. Not causing any trouble.
Yeah, there's no more news. The news is done. Yeah.
Oh, that's the case, Jesus. Where are we gonna find you at?
Find me playing Kingdom Come 2 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I'll be playing more of that for sure. Hopefully the campaign isn't 25 hours long. I really hope
that's probably wrong.
That has to be wrong. Ain't no way it's 25 hours long, dude. Like, just the pacing of everything doesn't seem like it would be 25 hours long.
Yeah. Maybe he's a speedrunner.
Like I said, that person had to have skipped all the dialogue, skipped everything, all the cutscenes, everything. Because some of the cutscenes are long, man. Like, some of the dialogue takes like a while to get through. Like,
and time to beat. Like do they verify with people? I wonder how that works.
I don't think they do. You just
I never signed up for it.
You just go in there and do it. So you did it. Because on my Steam library, I have like a lot of time in this game, and I feel like
you're not even close.
Dude, I haven't even got to the first part of the game, which is to get to that fucking wedding. Like, that's like literally the first mission of the game. It's like, get to this fucking wedding, dude. Like, that's your main mission. Like that's like the main goal, like the first checkpoint, the first big one.
Gotcha.
And I'm barely getting to that point now, and I'm 25. It says I played 25 hours. So, and I'm not even the top person on my friends list. Some guy named Loco has played it for 52 hours already. What the fuck? They've played it 52 hours? Damn.
Well,
Gunny's played it 18 hours. Holy shit.
Well, that's where he's at, right?
Gunny's put some time into this. Holy fuck. I gotta see Gunny's achievements on this one. Gunny, okay. This is weird.
I can tell you last night, right? He must be idle because last night, before you guys recorded on the other podcast over there, is it Happy? I forgot the name of it already. I've listened to it already.
Yeah.
Video Game Happy Hour, yes. Before you guys jumped over there, he was in chat and he was streaming the game, and he just got to the title screen right before the show last night. So I don't know how far into it you have to play to get to the title screen. That's where he had just gotten.
Okay, no, he had to have been AFK. Yeah, because he has one achievement. He has the beginning achievement that says, and that was just the beginning. This won't end well. That's the very first achievement he has, and he unlocked it yesterday at 10:13 p.m. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 7 achievements. And the guy on my friends list who's played, see here, this guy has played 52 hours. He has 12 achievements that I can see, and there's 30 hidden achievements. there's a lot of achievements, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. But yeah, that's all you have, Mayo. We're out of here. Where can we find you, Mayo?
Oh, you're gonna find me on Discord mainly. I'm gonna be bouncing around now because now I have Kingdom Come Deliverance on Steam. I just started downloading the Indiana Jones: The Great Circle on Xbox, on Game Pass, on PC Game Pass. I just picked that up, and then I'm still playing Metaphor. I want to finish that up this week, and I'm probably still gonna play some Astrobot in spurts. So you're gonna find me on PlayStation and Xbox as the Mayo or the Mayo One, but just like I said, mainly come over to Discord. Easiest way to get a hold of me is do the little @ symbol, the Mayo, and then just hit a message and I'll see it.
Nice. So find me on everything on Jesus Walks Lot, and find Gunny and everything as Gunny Chief, and on PlayStation as HGP Gunny. All right, and that's it. We're out of here.
See ya.
Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. I forgot that part. Bye, everyone. Bye.
See ya.